What is up, all of you regs and all of you shinies, and welcome to the Haslab Ghost review. Now, this is something that I was so happy finally came in the mail. I thought we weren't going to even get it by the end of 2024, but we did. And I know some people are still waiting on this, unfortunately, but let me tell you, it is worth the wait, and it was absolutely worth every single penny. Now, I wanted to give a huge thank you to my friend 212 Hunter for helping me get this, just because I was unable to pre-order at the time, and then he ended up getting another. So thank you again so much to Hunter for your generosity and helping me to achieve this, because it's so big on the table that I have here. I couldn't even bring this to my desk over there to do like a regular based review of this either, just because there would have been no space. So I had to clear out this entire section of the house that I'm in right now just so I could fit it in the camera. And you won't even see me for probably some of this. You'll see more of the ghost. But the biggest thing I wasn't expecting was that you do have to assemble this. There's a lot of different little pieces that you have to just put on. Nothing too difficult or crazy, but it was kind of like like when I opened the box and I saw 4 separate boxes inside. But I will go through how to assemble this. So if it is your first time doing that and you do have some questions, hopefully I'll be able to answer that for you. And then I'm going to kind of talk about some more thoughts that I have about this, and I'll also discuss the little intricacies of that as well. But stay tuned, keep watching the video. We love you, and I love the ghost. Alright, so like I said before, I think the biggest thing that kind of caught me off guard with this is that there are so many different pieces for assembling the ghost. Maybe I was a little bit too naive in thinking it would just come as the entire ship, but I was wrong. So I'm going to go through step by step now on how to assemble this. Now there are 3 kind of different boxes that are included in the whole set of different pieces, and you do get a handy dandy instruction book too, which mine was actually crammed in the very back of my box, but it's supposed to explain what goes where and how, similar like Lego fashion and whatnot. So I'll go through box number 1 of what to put on the ghost. Now the first thing that it has you do is putting on the kickstands, so then it's not just kind of sitting here as is. So you gotta flip her over like this, and on these sections here, you're going to put the kickstands. Now it says I have to just take the pieces outright if I have a nail and can get it. Otherwise, I will have to resort to using something else.
1 hour later.
Okay, so I'm not even about to explain to you how long it was taking me to get some of these pieces off so I could put the kickstands on it. But I'm actually going to show you a really quick trick. If you take the kickstand piece where it has this little lip that goes up and you put it under and you just push up, they come out instantly. So that was an L on my part for not thinking outside of the box the first time, but I will set those aside. And then you get 2 of these larger ones. Well, pardon me, 3 actually, and then 1 of the smaller ones. And according to the instructions, the small one goes on the front here. It just snaps in like so. There we go. And then all of the other ones just fit right into the holes. They got little pegs to fit into. Oh, and you should hear it almost snap in. There we go. There's one. There's two. And there's three. So now it is ready to stand on its own. Ta-da! One step closer. Now, next on the instructions are a bunch of the side pieces. Okay, so let me check on here really quick. So this is, because a lot of these side panels look the same, but they're labeled a specific way. So these ones are L1 and L2. Okay, so I just have to see where it goes on here, but basically they're just going to attach to the side of the Ghost, which I'm guessing L1 and L2 literally means it's all going to be on the left side. That's easy enough. Now I just got to figure out which one goes where. Okay, so it looks like this one goes. Okay, yeah, because that's the back. Actually, I think I have the right ones, and I didn't even realize it. Or, give me another minute.
Much, much, much later.
And we are back. So I put everything in the places that it should go, and then I had put it on, and then realized I didn't put it on right, so I had to redo it. So here's take two on that at least. But basically, you have these two giant side panels here, and those are going to go on first, because I had put these triangles on first, and that was not the right way of doing it. So these will snap onto the side of the Ghost, like so. If I can just get it on. Or does it go right here? Yep, that snaps right there. And where did I? There we go. Here's the other. Bam and bam. So those will snap on in those respective ways. I kind of thought that they were the same and they wouldn't, so because the one wasn't fitting in the right spot, so it will fit into its spot. And then you take the triangle pieces here, and similar to these, they have a very large nub, and they have a little bit of a smaller nub too, so you got to line it up correctly when you're putting it on, and it snaps. It snaps. Oh, okay, because I have to line it like that. So yeah, these are going to kind of slide on. So that's what I wasn't getting at first. That will slide on the track. Bam, bam. This is already looking so huge. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe how massive this is and how cool it looks too. Oh my gosh. All right, so now that we have basically the entire frame on, I think next, okay, it wants me to do the thrusters. So that is what these look like over here. I'll actually turn this around really quick. Try putting it more so, because I need to see to do some of this, and I know you're not going to see me that well on the camera, but you're here to see this Ghost. You're not here to see me. So the double thruster here is the main one, and that is going to go on the bottom. Yes. There we go. And then these two are practically the same. Similar system like before, where it's just going to kind of click on. Let me see how that goes. Okay, so that goes down. Okay, I have the wrong side for that. That's why it wasn't fitting. Let's try it like this. Okay. There we go. And don't let these little top parts here throw you off too, because I kind of thought that was supposed to be like exposed, but they're supposed to be running into the ship. So there'll be little indents on the inside of this hidden that those go into. Let me run around here, get this one installed real quick. There we go. Oh, it is a little bit difficult to see, I will admit, when you're doing this. There we go. Okay. So, now all of the thrusters are on the Ghost, and I'll turn this back around because, oh Lord almighty, this is huge. It is so big. I'm really hoping the space I cleared out works for this. I'm just looking over there at it right now. I'm like, oh my gosh, hopefully that goes together. But, all right, I'm trying to see what is next. Looks like the next step is going to be the front window shield here. So I'll kind of scoot it back for my sanity so I can see and swivel around the seat. Just says that it fits right on top according to the diagram. So let me fact check that. Looks like it snaps in right over the top. Okay, snaps in right over the top like so. And then if you need to access it later, you pull from the back here and then move forward, or I'm pretty sure you can also just grab it from the bottom and go up. That wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Comes with a little bubble turret here, and to put people in that, the top of it just pops off. So you can just pop it off, and this just slides in like so. So not a huge deal right there, but I'm not gonna put it in yet because I have some internal pieces that also need to go onto this. And so does include this little package here of some other bits and pieces. It looks like one of them's the bottom cannon. If I can get it out of here, see if I can show it off. Swivels up and down like that. So that's kind of fun. And this goes on the bottom. So let me rotate her real quick. If this broke, I would cry. Or yes, it does go on the bottom. I forgot where. It's the front cannon for the Ghost. My bad. So it goes right below the pilot station over here. Let me flip this back around. Oh, there we go. All right, flip that back, scroll through the directions. And okay, here is a nice little fun part, is that this whole panel here comes open. So then you can see a lot more of the internals of it, which I'll show off after I'm done assembling it and whatnot. But there are a few accessories we need to put in, such as the sabacc table, which is kind of fun. I need to take, how do we get to that? Oh, okay. Just comes off like that. Wasn't expecting it. Need to put in the sabacc table. Some spectator chairs. Okay, and these little pieces too, they don't necessarily go in a set place. They can kind of move around a little bit and be a little bit more linear. There is someone's, I think this is supposed to be Zeb's chair, if I'm not wrong, but it literally just goes in the corner. And again, you'll see that in better detail in a minute. And last but not least is a little cafeteria table, basically. There we go. Ta-da! Cafeteria table just goes in the corner. Nice. And there are a few different, I'll show it off with the internals later. But yeah, let me get this back on. So I'm gonna snap that back like so. Snap the front pack back on like that. Throw that bubble turret in the top. And last but finally not least, you have the Phantom 2, which is that Strollen droid craft. And if I can, the little legs come down for it too. So I'll show it. So you can have it sitting next to the Ghost if you want, or if you put that up, it is literally going to click in the back right here. And there you have it, everybody. That is how you assemble the Haslab Ghost. Now, I'm going to be going into a little bit more detail, but let me change angles really quick for that. Very quick side note, but I did want to show off the action figures that the Ghost comes with. Now, these were all fundable tiers too for the set, and it's based off the appearances of the characters from Rebels in the final season of the show. So we also finally got a blind version of Kanan, and he even comes with his mask, which is something that we've been asking for forever in the community. We got Hera, and besides having just a blaster, she also has a Melu run and her Calicori, which is a super fun detail. We have Ezra here with his scout helmet that he ends up stealing and painting with Sabine. He has his new green lightsaber, is the White Loth Cat as well. And last but not least, we have Zeb. He has the standard accessories that Zeb usually comes with, but he's got a nice big old grin. Look at that. And he also has the different armor pieces too, because his armor changes throughout the season. But as you can see with all of the figures, they're also all a part of that Rebels portrait that we see at the end of the show. Now, the only one I'm missing here is Sabine and Chopper, but that's because it was a separately shipped item, and I totally forgot to ask my guy to ship it to me as well. So that's on me, but this is what the figures look like, and I think they did an amazing job with this. They have a protector box for it too, and they all like lay face down in it as well to protect it, because all of my card backs are nice and clean. And so I'm going to permanently store them in there until I can get nice TVC card like protectors for these, so then they can never get damaged. But they look amazing, and I will definitely try and get them signed at some point, because I already have my Black Series figures of the Rebels crew all signed. But who can't resist getting this signed, just because it's like a special edition of something and they're not going to make it again like this ever. So that's all the more incentive for me to do it, just because I loved Rebels so much as a show. I would even say it's just as good as Clone Wars, but Clone Wars only beats it because of nostalgia points for me. But let's get back to the Ghost. But before we open this thing up to check out the inside, I wanted to just take a minute to kind of walk around and show some of the real awesome detail that was put into this. Now, the paint scheme is amazing. The way that it just looks is incredible. I really think the Hasbro team did a really good job at putting together like an accurate portrayal of the Ghost in TVC form that like wasn't too large and is still like very much a practical size to use today as well. And yeah, it's just amazing. It's awesome. I really don't have a lot of other great words to use to describe it other than just I love it. I think this is awesome. But let's crack this on open and check out what it looks like on the inside. All right, so I'm going to start to work front to back in all of the different pieces of the Ghost so that you can get a better idea of what it looks like on the inside. And I had to start off in the cockpit crew area. Now for this video, I am sorry, but I am missing Sabine and Chopper. Just completely forgot to order both of those, but I do have a majority of the Ghost crew here, as you can see. Now I did set up this fun little scene with kind of Ezra and Zeb in the back kind of fighting, and Kanan being like, oh great, with Hera still flying the ship. And as you can also see right here, that is where the front gunner seat is. And here is the little turret that goes up and down. But yeah, here is what the inside of that section looks like. Now, again, very highly detailed on all of the paneling, as you can see. It looks really good. The ladder here, unfortunately, does not go to a bottom area, but you can pose a character as if they were walking up the ladder. And maybe I'll do that later with Sabine. But here is I actually will get a little bit more closer detail on like the nav computer and all the other stuff. But yeah, they knocked it out of the park on the detailing on this set. Now the next layer back on the ship is going to be the bedroom area here. Now I do have all the different characters in here posed around, because if you remember from the show, this bedroom section right here is actually Ezra's and Zeb's because they shared a bedroom. But I just wanted to pose Kanan around here, just sitting. And as you can see, Ezra fits into this nice little top bunk section, and they have the little ladder. but unfortunately Zeb is too large to fit on the bottom bunk area here. Now that might be because the Zeb figure that I have here is from the Rebels collection and maybe not from the Ghost, but I'm not going to open any of those figures. As I said, I do want to get those signed in the future. So maybe that one fits and this one just doesn't, but just know that too if you're like me and you bought that, it won't fit on that section here. And rotating it around to the other side, we have Hera's bedroom. Has these nice little curtain features here to give her some privacy. And as you can see, she does fit in her bedroom area. Now, the only gripe that I will actually give for the Ghost here is that it doesn't include Kanan's bedroom area and Sabine's. Because if you remember from the show, there should be this set of a bedroom area, and then there should probably be another one. Now, I don't remember if it's down the hall from this or farther back in the ship, but there should ideally be another bedroom section. So for how much the Ghost is, I guess I can maybe let it go because of all the detailing and the fun that I'm having with it right now. But that would honestly be my only complaint so far into this, of this little bedroom hallway section. And the final room that we have on the Ghost is kind of this common area here that we see in the show. Now I have characters posted around. I have Zeb and Ezra here at the sabacc table just kind of chilling, like Ezra's trying to explain something that Zeb maybe really doesn't care. Hera's usually always on this computer device over here doing something, and I just put Kanan at the lunch table chilling, as a guy does. But when I was showing you how to assemble the Ghost, these are some of those freely moving pieces I was talking about. So here's extra chairs if more people want to sit around at that sabacc table. This table also moves by itself. And then there is this random chair over here, which I was assuming to be Zeb's, but it is way too small for him to kind of like comfortably sit in. So it's just there in the corner, as you can see. But yeah, that one, here, let me grab it. There we go. Here's a better look at that. But yeah, all of these pieces just kind of independently move around. So if you do end up moving the Ghost and you hear some shaking and stuff going around, just know that it's probably those. The sabacc table here is put into the ground. It had a little peg that was sticking up that it just kind of popped into, and that's stagnant, and so is all of this. But yeah, here is, try to zoom in as close as I can with my phone camera. Give you a quick little 360 of the room area in here. Turning it back around. And yeah, no, but overall, I think the interior of this really kicks it out of the park. It is so well made and so well done. I just really, really like the nice attention to detail that they put into this piece, just knowing how much people really wanted the Ghost and how diehard people are about Rebels. I obviously cannot forget to talk about the Phantom 2 that it has here, because as you might remember, the Ghost had an original Phantom before that got scrapped, and then they had to grab this droid ship here, but it's all done with Sabine's nice paint schematics. It's got a little chopper right here too. He's got his arms out. You can move him around on here. Just a quick 360 of the entire thing. Now, unfortunately, this back door does not open, and there isn't back storage to it either, mainly just because of sizing purposes, but I'm not going to cry over that. And I do have Hera in here sitting in the cockpit. Now, she is actually the only character that is fitting in this that I have, at least, because if I close, there we go. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so I can fit Hera in it okay. Ezra was a little bit too big for the Phantom 2, and I definitely wasn't going to try it with Zeb or even Kanan just because they're too large of figures. But again, maybe that the figures that they're including in this are going to fit in these a lot better. But again, I dare not open those just because they're special edition figures, and I don't really want to because I'm okay with using these figures instead, even if there are slight limitations to it. But yeah, here is the Phantom. And there you have it, folks. That is my review for the TVC Haslab Ghost. Now, all in all, this was a love letter from Hasbro to the fans on something that they know that we are so incredibly passionate, and that is Star Wars Rebels. I was over the moon, really, when they announced that this would even be a TVC like Haslab idea, and that it funded and that it hit every single one of the tiers for funding too. So we were able to get the entire set of action figures. So thank you so much to the Hasbro community too for also pulling through to fund it last minute to get every single thing for this done. But the detail is just absolutely amazing. You can't really recreate this yourself in some way without really paying as much as you would to get the actual product itself. But I hope you could see how excited I was for this during the review, because I really am. I'm so incredibly stoked that I have it here in front of me now, and that it's just everything that I wanted it to be, and it really didn't disappoint. Sure, I had one minor complaint with it on the interior with the bedroom section, but that isn't really going to be a huge deal for me. I'm not breaking this open every single day to kind of play around with it and move the things, and it's going to kind of sit as is on my shelf, unless I decide maybe to pop off a panel or two and display it like that. But this will be treasured by me forever. I'm so, so incredibly thankful that Hasbro wanted to do this. Now, were you able to get the Ghost for yourself, or were you still maybe thinking about it? Let us know down below in the comments for that too. And also let me know in the comments how you enjoyed the review for this too. I really try to pull out a different style for this that I don't normally do. And as I said before, this isn't something I could easily set up at my desk, put a whole blank slate behind me too. This had to be an open project as well. So we're in my dining room right now, which is in shambles because there are boxes everywhere, just because I needed to accommodate for having the Ghost here on the set today. But thank you so much if you made it to the end of this video today for watching. Every single view that we get really matters, and every single one of you is also awesome. So thank you again for that. And if you want to stay tuned for more awesome reviews, make sure you're subscribing to the channel, liking this video, and looking ahead to future content that we have. We're just about to wrap up Skeleton Crew and some other projects as well, so stay tuned for all that. And I hope you have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be. Mahalo and goodbye.